Hey everybody, welcome back to Wallet Reset. It's Mike Malbro. Today's video, hopefully you can see this, I'm going to teach you guys how to start an e-commerce business with only $15, okay? So, I need to tell you before we get started, this is actually something that I have done on multiple occasions. It's something that everyone can do. Now, I will say that this is only going to show you the framework of what needs to be done, right? Actually going about doing it is on you. I can't do that for you unless you, I can't help you unless you help yourself. So let's just dive into this. We're not going to make this in anything that's super complicated. It's going to be simple to understand. And by the time you see this, you will have an outline of what to do. All right, so let's get started. So number one, right? Now what most people do is they go about like saying, okay, well, let me just build a site and, I think this is a good idea. That's wrong. Number one, what you want to do is research. All right, you want to find products that you know sell. You want to find something that people are already buying. Now, this is kind of counterintuitive for most people because, at least from people that I've known, right? Most people start out saying, oh, what would be a great idea is like ping pong balls that, I don't know, bounce higher or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing something out there. But don't start with some great idea. Start with what you know has a good chance of selling, right? The best way to do that is to go to Amazon, right? And you find bestsellers. And you get a list of all the bestseller products. You don't have to take the name of the product necessarily, but the type of product. So, for example, if you're in tennis, you might look at tennis racket, tennis shoes, tennis bags, visors, anything that you can think that people would have if they're a tennis player, right? You just get a list of all of those things. Now, when you pick what to look for, the best way to do it is just to narrow it down to something that you could, that you would buy, something that you know people will buy because you've bought multiple of them or something like that, right? So you start out by doing research on Amazon, right? And so once you do that, once you have a list of these products, just go to a keyword research tool like Ubersuggest, right? So Ubersuggest is ubersuggest.io, right? So that's where you'll go to find that. Ubersuggest is just a keyword research tool, and what you want to do is plug in each one of these product names and see generally on an average month how many people are looking for these keywords, right? Now this isn't where you make your decision. You also want to look at trends. You want to look at other things, but ultimately what it really boils down to is making the decision based on the fact that there is a market, there are products, and you know that they are selling because they're best sellers, right? So all of the products up there that you have on your list should be best sellers, and you basically just pick one or you pick multiples, especially if you've narrowed it down to something like tennis or like fitness or jogging or whatever. It'll be a lot better that way, all right? So once you do that, this is where it gets simple, right? I'm just going to go ahead and tell you step 1 and 2, and even or 2 to 4 are just setup. Right, so now you need to buy a domain, right? Buy hosting, and install Wordpress. All right, so domain and hosting. A domain, a .com domain, will generally run you about $10. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little less. I use namecheap.com because Namecheap is just what I've been using for like 8 years or something like that. If you want to use something else, go ahead. I suggest that you don't use a big name place because they're typically the ones that get hacked because they're bigger and they can, it's just, it makes sense. Why not go for the big jackpot when you don't have to get 10 little jackpots? So they tend to, it seems like they tend to get hacked more, so I don't use big ones like GoDaddy or stuff like that, or HostGator. I use small ones. So I use Namecheap, right? And then for hosting, you can get it for about $5 a month, and I use DreamHost, right? And actually, DreamHost is something that I've been using for years too. If you want to get a DreamHost package, start out by paying monthly. It's like $4.95 a month. That'll be how much you pay. Then you install WordPress once you get the sites configured. If you don't know how to do that, look it up on YouTube. That's how I learned how to do it. That's the easiest way to learn. All right. From there, install Woocommerce. Right? Woocommerce is free, so you don't have to worry about spending money on a monthly basis, except for this right here, your hosting. Then finally, promote. Promote your site. Well, how would you do that? Well, first thing I would do, especially if I'm brand new starting out, I would start out with Pinterest, Facebook groups, I would do Instagram, and really just focus on finding niches, finding places where my people are, who are most likely to buy. Once you start making your first few sales, right, and obviously there's other things you're going to have to look for to do. You want to try to see what works for you. Once you make your first sale or two or three, then I would go ahead and focus on getting on advertising. Now, advertising is really where you're going to get the most value, because that's going to send you predictable traffic, which means predictable results. All right, now that's pretty much it. It's not that difficult. And actually, as you can see, there's only 6 steps. So go out and do this, right? Do these 6 steps and you will have success. And the cool thing is, you only have to spend $15 to get started. Thanks for watching today. If you are looking for more information like this, please, please, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I put out videos every single day, so you don't want to miss a thing. All right? Thanks for stopping by. It's been Mike Malbrough. Fun times, fun times. See you guys tomorrow.